They told her the cries were just the wind, whispering through the palms of her quiet African village. But Amara knew the sound of her own tears even when they came from beneath the floor. Hello everyone, and welcome back. Today, we have a story that will send a chill down your spine, a tale of grief, love, and the echoes left behind by those we've lost. This is the story of Amara, a young widow who had lost everything: her husband, her child, and even her laughter. She lived a solitary life in a small hut, perched at the very edge of the forest, where the night stretched into an eternity of heavy silence. Every night, as the moon hung low in the ink-black sky, she would hear it, a soft, muffled crying. At first, she dismissed it as the sound of her own sorrow, a phantom echo of her grief. But night after night, it persisted. And then, one evening, it became clearer, closer. It wasn't in her head. The sound was coming from beneath her hut, from the very earth she stood upon. Imagine the mix of terror and a strange, unexplainable pull that coursed through her. She knelt on the cold clay floor, her heart pounding against her ribs like a drum. With a trembling hand, she pressed her ear to the ground. Instantly, the sobbing stopped. The silence was deafening. And then, a whisper, so faint it was almost carried away by the night air, but it pierced her soul. Mama. Her heart froze. It was her son's voice, the same voice she had longed to hear, the one she thought was lost forever when the fever took him months ago. She stumbled back, a gasp caught in her throat as tears flooded her eyes. No, it can't be, she whispered to the empty room. Was her grief playing tricks on her, or was something far more sinister at play? The next morning, desperate for answers, she sought the counsel of the village priest, Baba Ifeanyi. He was an old man with eyes that held the wisdom of generations. He listened patiently to her frantic story, his expression growing grave. He warned her, his voice low and serious. Amara, there are spirits that linger between worlds. They are clever. They mimic the voices of our dead to prey on our sorrow. Do not answer them. If you do, they will latch onto your grief and never let you go. But how can you silence a mother's heart? Grief is a powerful force, a tide that no warning can hold back. That night, Amara waited. The single flame of her candle flickered, casting dancing shadows on the walls of her hut. Her body trembled, not just from the cool night air, but from a terrifying anticipation. And then, it came again, softer this time, more vulnerable. Mama, I'm cold. The priest's warning echoed in her mind, but the sound of her child's voice shattered her resolve. A tear traced a path down her cheek as she leaned forward, her voice barely a whisper against the silence. Where are you? The moment the words left her lips, the ground before her cracked. A fissure split the hard-packed earth with a sickening sound. A gust of icy wind, impossibly cold, swept through the hut, extinguishing her candle and plunging her into absolute darkness. She screamed, a raw, primal sound of pure terror. But her scream was drowned out by the voice, her son's voice now growing louder, more desperate, twisting from a plea into a wail that seemed to claw at the very air around her. Then, from the deepest shadows of the room, a figure began to form. It wasn't her son. It was the spirit of her husband, his form shimmering and translucent. His eyes were not angry or menacing. They were filled with a profound sadness, yet they held a calm that cut through her fear. He floated towards her, his voice a gentle echo from the past. You must let us go, Amara, he said, his words a balm on her terrified soul. Your love is an anchor. It holds us here, between the living and the dead. Release us, or your own spirit will be pulled to join us before your time. Amara collapsed to her knees, torn between the desperate love for her family and the terrifying reality of what was happening. The ground beneath her rumbled again, the cracks spreading like veins across the floor as the soil began to shift and churn. She looked at the ghostly image of her husband, at the darkness where her son's voice cried out, and understood. Her love, born from the purest place, had become a cage. With tears streaming down her face, she closed her eyes and found the strength she didn't know she had. She whispered into the chaotic darkness, her voice choked with sorrow but firm with resolve. I release you. Silence. Absolute, profound silence. The rumbling stopped. The wailing ceased, and then a warm, gentle breeze passed through the hut, caressing her face like a final, loving embrace. It smelled of the earth after rain, of the wild hibiscus flowers that grew near the forest. It was a goodbye. When the first rays of dawn crept into her hut, Amara saw that the ground beneath her was smooth and whole again. There were no cracks, no signs of the night's terror. There was only peace, a deep, resonant peace that settled into the very marrow of her bones. From that day on, Amara no longer cried at night. The heavy weight of sorrow had lifted, replaced by a quiet acceptance. And sometimes when the wind blew through the whispering palms, she would smile, because she knew the voices were gone, their souls were free, but the love that would remain with her forever. Thank you so much for joining me for this hauntingly beautiful story. I hope it touched you as much as it did me. If you enjoyed this journey into the unknown, please hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next adventure. Until next time, stay curious.